Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Bristol Township Zoning Hearing Board. I'd like to get started. Please stand and remove your hats for Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, let me introduce you to a few people. Sitting to my left is our solicitor, Keith Bidleymeyer. We got also with us Director of L&I, Bob McTeague, our stenographer, Cindy Oliveira, and Mr. Secretary, call the board, please.
Gerard Lycon. Here. Colleen Dunn.
Here.
Jim McMahon.
Here.
Ed Murphy. Here.
Okay, let's get the party started here. Karen Steele, 4700 Forest Street, Bristol. Please come on up.
Yes.
Ms. Steele, do you have your notices?
I do, yes.
Yes. So, the DOT was always 19, was it posted the same day? It was posted 2 weeks prior. Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, Jim.
Okay, whenever you're ready, you can proceed.
I'm the design consultant for the company doing the work. Should I be sworn in as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you state your name, please?
Tom Grego.
I'm sorry?
Tom Grego. Grygo.
Make sure the green light's on the microphone.
That's right.
Okay.
Should I press
All right.
the button when I speak?
No,
I just
yeah.
got it. Okay. All right. So here's the. That's for the. Okay. So that's the hearing. That's the here. Next slide, please. Okay. So just very quickly, we're just looking for a request for relief from rear yard setback of 20 feet. The proposed plan will yield 4 feet. Some quick facts. Existing structure is non-conforming. It's already approximately 7 feet from the property line. All their zoning requirements are within conformity. Quick facts: the sunroom will be 12 feet from the rear property line. There will be an open deck that will be 4 feet. The rear yard has no neighboring properties, so no properties will be directly affected, and the property does have an odd-shaped lot. Next slide, please. So that's just showing the zoning that was posted. Next slide. The letters is, of course, showing the properties that were notified. Next slide. Again, the property.
Excuse me, could you talk closer to the mic?
Okay,
I can't
sure.
hear you.
Yeah, the property is oddly is oddly shaped. So the rear yard setback is actually kind of closer to the property, the actual house, than most other properties in the area. The left side setback, there's nobody there, and in the back there's no adjacent properties. Next slide. And that just shows an aerial view. You can see the property line, how it's oddly shaped, and then again, the back is just forest. So that's the rear setback in question. Next slide. Yeah, just some additional side photos of the area. The room is going to be, the sunroom and deck are going to take place of the old deck. So the old deck is in disrepair, that's going to be removed. Next slide. Just additionally showing how there's nobody being really affected by what we're doing. Next slide. Again, just more info of the, there's no other place to put the sunroom that would be in conformity. The far right corner, which would be the east corner of the house, is 29 feet from the rear property line. With the sunroom, that would still need a variance. And there's no entrance door, so there'll be additional costs to do that, and it's still not being in conformity. Next slide.
Additional cost for what?
To put in the door. And then the old deck just has seen better days, so there's also a safety issue for it. So we're removing that, putting in everything will be, of course, new. Next slide. The work is done by patio enclosures. We've been in business for over 58 years, so just those are the plans that you have copies of. Next slide. Just more showing the plans. Next slide. And we've done plenty of work in Bristol Township, just to show us who's done professional work. So, next slide. And just quick summary, everybody's been notified, no objections, no direct impact on neighboring properties. There's no adjacent rear yard properties, existing home and deck is already non-conforming. It's an odd-shaped lot, existing deck is a safety concern. It'll be increased to property value and curb appeal. The sunroom will be visible from the street, and work will be done by an established company. That's it. Next slide, and thank you.
Anybody from the board have any questions?
Only question I have is, how many deer do you have in your yard?
Prior to leaving here, I had, oh, I'm sorry. Is this gonna be recorded?
Yes.
But prior to leaving, I had a couple deer, and I was like, do they want to come to the meeting as well? Maybe they object.
I had to see 15 plus, couple buck. You know, there's a lot of deer back there.
There are a lot of deer back there.
And you do back up to the woods.
I
don't
do.
see it
Yes.
bothering anybody there.
No.
But yeah, it was very peaceful when I drove back there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it.
That's all I have.
Any? Oh, comments, concerns. We're gonna go for all three. Anybody else got anything? Bob, anything to add?
No, sir.
Anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this project? Okay. What's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion for this project.
I'll second it.
Call the board.
Colleen Dunn.
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Jim McMahon.
Yes.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes.
Good luck, guys.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda, I'm gonna apologize up front for this. Yashoda Caruza. Please come on up, 2515 Avenue A, Levittown.
Yes.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is.
You have your notices that you gave to the neighbors and.
Yes, I do.
Do you know when that was posted? Do you know when that was put up?
15 days before this.
Before that?
So that was mentioned in the letter, like I have to put on the front, like 14 days before the hearing.
Yes.
So I put that like 15 days before the hearing.
Great. Okay. Yeah. We're good.
What should I say?
Just ask her to state on the record that was posted. Do you want me to ask her?
Yeah. He's gonna ask.
Yes, so you handed up your notices, and now you've been placed under oath. The posting of the property, the picture, that was done at least 2 weeks before tonight.
Yes,
that
it was put on the over there for 15 days before the hearing board.
Great,
Yeah.
thank you.
Good, Cindy? Okay, you can go, proceed.
My name is Yashoda Grasso. Good evening, everyone. I'm the homeowner of 2515 A Avenue, Levittown, PA. This is a request regarding the front porch. That's my property. This is like before the front porch is done. This is how I purchased 3 years ago. And the next slide. And this is the project that was done. And I have to apologize, this was done without the permits by my contractor. And I'm not aware of that because I had a surgery.
And I'm not,
Aware of that.
thank you.
Yeah, because in January I had my surgery and this contractor, he said he took the permits and he'll take care of it, all that. And I have no idea that this was done. Then after that, the township staff has told that permits were not pulled, so the project was stopped. It was half done. So if you can see, there is like already a concrete structure that it came with the house. So the front porch I was planning to build is like right on top of it. So the main reason to build this project is like because of the weather, the cold and the rain and snow. Every time there is rain, the water comes in the main door, because if you see the previous slide, in the previous slide you see like there is no protection for the main door and the windows and all. So every time there is like a rain or snow, the water always comes in the house. So I thought like if I build this project, there will be no water. And also there is also water comes in the basement through the walls. There is like some slides if you go. Yeah, this is like the plan. That's the front porch, and the porch is like 30 feet from the A Avenue Street. 30. Yeah, 30 feet, and the rest all are like according to the code, except that like it's has to be under 30 or something. Then the next slide. Yeah, this is like the design of the plan that my contractor had made me. Next. So this is the damage of my front door because of the rain and snow. This was like I tried to fix it last year just to change the frame and all, but like this is not like a permanent solution, because every time I fix it, the weather comes and it gets rotten all the time. So, and the next. And this is the water in the basement. Every time it rains or snow, the water comes through the walls of the basement, and it just like moisture and like water all the time. And the next slide. Yeah, this is like the water, and if you see on the top, like you see like there is like a moisture here, like here and all. This is like the rainwater and snow water that comes. But after building this project, it went down a little bit, but there is still some water comes because the rain gutters are not installed, because the project is half done and it was stopped. And today I'm here to request for a variance for the front project, front porch. So that way I can fix the solution, like problem of like water in the basement, and also it saves my entrance door from not getting rotten. And yeah, this is the zoning notice I placed before 15 days of my hearing. This is like I also learned like with the front porch, I can like, the next slide. I also learned like that it adds value to the house, and it gives like a curb appeal and energy efficient, better security. The next. And like I can, sit in the evening, watch my kids play.
Take your time, it's okay.
It's just this whole thing I went through so much, that's why.
Your contractor's problem.
Yes, and I was not feeling well at that time. I had a surgery. I was on bed rest, and he said he'll take care of all that. And I did say, I need a permit for this.
Yes.
I'm not in a position to get it.
Yeah.
Then he said, don't worry, I will go take care of all that.
Yeah.
Until the township people came and let me know, I have no idea, like all these things had happened. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. And because of all this township hearing, me coming to the township is like 1,000,000 times. I came to fill out the paperwork, what to do. I have no idea. This is my first time I'm making this PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Need a couple minutes, take a couple minutes. I don't have a tissue for you, so I apologize.
That's fine, thank you. Thank you. And I'm so sorry for all this happened without permits, but in future it will not happen, because I have plans to do more projects in my house for that improves good for my kids and for myself. So I make sure I'll do it with permits, and I make sure everything is right.
Yeah, well, you trusted somebody and he.
Yes, and he's my neighbor, so I thought like, it's not like some random stranger, then it's different thing. It's my neighbor right across the street, and he did say he has 20 years of experience. Don't worry, 20 years of experience in construction and all that, and he'll take care of all the permits and, you know, material and all that. And I have no idea, like, all this happened.
Okay. You good? Done with your presentation?
What?
You done with your presentation?
Yeah, I think
Thank
that's
you.
it.
I got you. Okay, anybody from the board have any questions?
I just have one question. You have a different contractor, correct? To finish the project?
I mean, I don't have any because I don't even know if I'll get approved or not. And
Okay.
so,
To get approved before you get
yeah, I mean, without approving,
Well, I think what Ed's asking, are you gonna use the same guy that you used?
I mean, I paid for him.
Okay.
I paid like $2,000.
Right,
And he did half job. It's not even half. He still need a lot of work.
right, yeah.
And I will ask him one more time if he's gonna do it. If not, I'm gonna find somebody, get couple estimates because contractors are really expensive.
Yeah, oh,
And I already like wasted a lot of my work. I used to take off and come to the township to do all this paperwork, you know, and I have to make sure next time they'll not, you know, take the money and disappear.
okay, any other comments, concerns?
Couple. You have no driveway. I see you park up on the grass by your side porch, I guess.
Yeah, I don't have a drive up. I'm gonna get soon one. I'm just doing one at a time. I asked for a few estimates. They're charging me too much money, so I usually do like a street parking. Only if I have like my kids or shopping bags or something, I pull up. Other than that, I mostly use.
Yeah, I just seen there was no driveway.
No, I don't have driveway. Yeah.
Also, you don't have to answer this, but if it is Chuck, your carpenter, who's doing your place, if it's him, and he doesn't, finish it after you paid him, you should do something about it. You don't have to answer who it is, but if it is him, you should, pursue filing charges against him.
I did go to the Bristol Township Police and I tried to text him to help me with the PowerPoint and all this stuff because I have no idea. He didn't respond, so I went to the Bristol Township Police. Then when they called him, then he called me and texted me like, oh, I'm gonna come stop by. Stop by for what? There is no approval. This is
Well,
half
if he
done.
finishes that, great. If he doesn't, you should do something.
Yes, I have to do something because this just took me a lot of mental stress and like I'm embarrassed in front of my neighbors.
Yeah.
A yellow paper sitting in front of my house, everybody's asking me what happened, and this is embarrassing for me.
Yeah, okay. But like I said, if it is him and he doesn't do it, you should file something against him.
Yes, my friends also suggested that I should do something, and he was harassing me the whole time. Even he built this much, he was like, I need money, I need money, I need this.
Okay, we'll move on from that part of it. Anybody else have any questions? Bob, anything to add? Okay, anybody from the audience like to come up for or against this application? All right, pleasure of the board, please.
I'd like to put a motion for it.
I need a second.
I'll second.
All aboard.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes,
Good luck, my dear.
Oh, thank you so much.
you're welcome.
So I have one quick question. So, can you, the second slide? The next one? Yes. So the steps, can I put like before it or should I go with like the whatever the already built over there?
I don't even see.
Should you what?
Are they on
The
the side?
steps.
I don't.
It's like
The old
here.
steps underneath.
Oh, okay.
It's like a concrete one that came with the house when I
Right.
purchased it. So, like the steps, do I have to go exactly like this, or can I like go a little front?
Yeah, she can't come out the front because
Yeah,
the
you-
setback will be
They would have to come off the side
Side.
unless you're gonna ask for a lesser of a front yard setback.
back. That's right.
Um,
You're gonna change your setback if you come out the front.
What is setback means? Like?
That's what you're here for, to
That's
get a
what you're here
variance for
for.
your setback.
How close the project can be to the street? So it has to be set back from the street.
Okay. No, I don't want to come too close to the street because this side there is a water pipe and that side is a sewer pipe. If you can see, this one is sewer and there is like a water connection goes from here. maybe, I don't wanna go like too front, maybe like couple,
But you cannot come out the front with your steps.
okay,
Because if you get, we approve this variance tonight, that would change your variance if you bring them steps out the front. They
Okay.
have to come off the side of the porch, not out of the front of the porch.
maybe like I can, go exactly like where the steps are.
Them steps are covered by the deck.
Yes.
No, just like go in that and like put a railing so that there will
You
be
mean
like.
cut out the inside portion of the deck
Yeah,
and step
and
up?
steps up and,
I don't think there's gonna be any room left for you to walk up.
Yeah.
and there will be like a little space, where I can like step and like go inside. If you see like the previous slide, that's how it is, like, there is like a small space and then comes the 2-3 steps.
No, I personally wouldn't do that, but I don't know how that would work, to be honest with you. I'm not a carpenter either, so.
The permit for the drawing that we got, correct? We made the drawing, you're gonna have to.
Come back.
put on a permit.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
tires,
right.
oh, okay, all right,
Got
thank you.
All right?
All right, thank you so
Yeah.
much. Yeah, the driveway will be like this side. That side I cannot do anything, maybe this side, so probably I'll go in the side.
It'd
probably,
probably be
yeah.
better the driveway side.
Run the
Private.
steps along the fence.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much.
all right, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Children and Adult Disability Services and Educational Services, 401 Rutgers Avenue, Swarthmore. Please come on up. Okay, whenever you're ready, you can proceed.
Good evening. My name is Chelsea Jackman. I'm an attorney with Begley, Carlin, Mandio. I'm here tonight on behalf of Children and Adult Disability and Education Services. To my left is Alina Sabakis. She is the Senior Director of Operations for CADES, which is the acronym for the organization and applicant. I'm gonna, if we can pull this up. So we're here this evening. The first address that is listed on the agenda is 32 Farmbrook Drive. This is obviously item number 3. It is identical to number 4, so at the board's pleasure, I may seek to incorporate if that's okay.
I don't believe Keith likes to do incorporating, do you, Keith? No.
I don't,
Okay,
but it's certainly up to the board's discretion.
okay, it's the pleasure of the board. Would you like,
It seems like identical.
okay. Gerard?
Yes, I'm okay with it.
Melanie?
Thank you very much. So we'll handle them in tandem. So we have 32 Farmbrook Drive, which is parcel number 050784431 in the R2 district. And then we have 78 Bittersweet Drive, which is parcel number 0503692, and that's in the R3 district. Farmbrook is just under 0.2 acres, and Bittersweet is just over 0.2 acres. And so presently, they are both single-family detached dwellings. In 2004, Bittersweet was purchased, and in 1996, Farmbrook was purchased by the applicants. They have been continually used as group homes for adults with disabilities who are incapable, essentially, of living on their own. It wasn't until 19 years after Farmbrook was purchased Bittersweet was purchased, and almost 30 years after Bittersweet was purchased, that the organization learned that they needed to register as a group home in Bristol Township. When they learned that they needed to do that, they immediately did, and they operate 4 group homes here in Bristol Township. and we learned 2 of which are in contravention of the ordinance that requires them to be further than 300 feet from another group home. So that's what brings us to the board this evening. We are seeking 1 single variance for each one of these group homes to allow these individuals with disabilities who otherwise could not live independently. So tonight I have Alina Sabakas here with me. As I stated, she's the Senior Director of Operations for CADES. And if it's okay, I'm going to have her sworn in to do the rest of the presentation.
Raise your hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
And it's Alena
Yes.
Subacas, correct?
CUS.
Thank you.
Chelsea, real quick before we go any further, on number 4, do you have the certification of service number?
Oh, sorry.
The green light on that one?
Yes.
Here, Chelsea.
Oh, perfect, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so just to start off, Alina, can you tell the board, has everything that I stated thus far accurate?
Yes,
And do you agree with everything that I've said, just by way of background to the board?
I do, yes.
And are you willing to adopt those statements as if they were your testimony, just in that brief thumbnail sketch of why we're here?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell the board a little bit about what CADES is and what it does?
Sure. So CADES supports individuals across the lifespan with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So we have several programs, one of which is our residential program. We have 32 homes in total, 4 of which are in Levittown, that support individuals 21 years and older with an intellectual or developmental disability.
Okay, can you give us a little bit of a brief history, and we have a slide accompanying what you're about to say with regards to how CADES came into place and began here in Bristol Township?
Sure. So our school for kindergarten through 21-year-old students, we are an approved private school that was founded in the 1950s. About 20 years later, in the 1970s, we started our adult day program, so 21 and over could have day programming. And then pretty soon thereafter, we opened our first residential facility. Actually, the individual who filed the lawsuit against Pennhurst to be shut down lives in one of our homes here in Levittown. So she has been with us for many years. And we started our relationship with Bucks County pretty soon after in the 80s, and then purchased the 4 properties that Chelsea mentioned.
Okay. And correct that 1996 was when Farmbrook was purchased, and then 2004 was when Bittersweet was purchased.
Yes.
And a little bit about those those 4 homes in particular in Levittown, just to give an idea, if you may.
Sure. So we average 2 to 3 residents per home. They all have their own bedroom, and then we have support staff 24/7. So they typically work 3 shifts, and there are generally 2 staff on each shift supporting the individuals. Many of them need help with all aspects of daily care, medication, hygiene. Many go to day program during the day, so they are supported with that, or community outings. We also have a nurse who is on call for all 4 of our houses here in Levittown. All of our homes are fully accessible. That's the nice thing, that all these homes are ranches, and we have ensured that the house is fully accessible for wheelchair access.
And I think the note on the bottom of this slide is an important one for the board to know. Go ahead.
2 of the residents who live at Farmbrook have lived together in that house for 25 years.
So you're essentially creating families for individuals who otherwise wouldn't be able to support themselves or live independently, do the things that most take for granted every day, correct?
That is our goal. Many of them, the staff, have become their family. Their parents have aged and are no longer able to care for them or be involved in their lives. So often the caretakers who are with them all day and all night are the people they consider their family, as well as their roommates.
With regards to, in particular, Farmbrook, how many residents live there?
We have 3 ladies who live at the Farmbrook house.
And how many live at Bittersweet?
We also have 3 individuals at I'm thinking of my other house. 2 individuals at Bittersweet.
Okay. I'm going to go to the next slide here. This is, if you could tell the board a little bit about these pictures and what they depict.
Sure. So this is one of our houses here in Levittown, to show that we work to make the house a home for the individual, so that it does not feel like an institution. It feels like it has their personality and their interest on it. Like I said, they're fully accessible, so we don't use a lot of rugs or things that would have a trip hazard, but we really try to make it personable and friendly. Bedrooms are decorated with their input and the colors that they want to see. And then, like you can see in the bathroom is fully accessible, so we have provided, a lot of our homes have full walk or wheel-in showers. We often put egress doors out of bedrooms so we can easily maneuver someone in a hospital bed should there be a fire.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll give you a moment. Okay, with regards to the individuals that, we'll start with the Farmbrook home. With their permission, can you tell the board a little bit about the individuals that live in the Farmbrook home?
So the ladies that live at Farmbrook, like I said, 2 of them have lived together for a very long time. One has been with us majority of her life. So their family, one individual in particular, her sister will come visit, take her out to get her nails done. Still very involved, but just could not manage her care. So that is where we come in to support. They really enjoy sitting outside on their deck and getting fresh air and just being a part of the community here. And they have called that home for a long time.
How about Bittersweet? Can you tell us a little bit about those individuals?
Sure, the gentlemen at Bittersweet are a little bit more medically complex. We have one individual there who does have a trach, and that's where our staff are really well trained to support that. And we have our nurse who is available. She's popping in and out of those houses all throughout the week and then available on call.
In the nearly 2 and 3 decades that these homes have served these individuals, have there ever been any issues where police have had to be called for an issue with regards to criminal activity by either a resident or an employee of CADES?
Not to my knowledge.
Have there been any issues regarding neighborly type disputes like parking or noise complaints or trash that isn't, properly disposed of, anything like that that you're aware of?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So if the board grants this variance tonight, you know that you do need to submit to a rental application as you did with the other 2 homes when you learned that they needed to be registered. You know that right now is not the end, should
Yes.
the board approve these 2 requests, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think the board should know as it relates to their consideration to approve the variance for Bittersweet and Farmbrook for these individuals to continue calling Bristol Township home?
I don't think so, except that this has been their home for a long time. And like I said, we plan for them to age in place in their home here so that we can keep their life as consistent and stable as possible. So that's how we approach our care.
Thank you. That's all I have, if anyone has any questions for us.
So I'm on this CARES site, so, I don't know anything about, but it says we're strongly encourage you to contact this provider directly or state licensing department to verify their license qualifications. Correct. So all that stuff's up to date.
All of our licensure, yes.
Yeah, I'm just reading right off this website here, so I just wanted to ask you guys about it and make sure that, get all that stuff taken care of.
Yeah, we go through annual licensing for each county that we serve in.
Anybody else have any questions?
I have one question.
Sure.
So the distance is 300 feet. How close are you to the other property?
I'm actually not aware of the other property or how far. I wonder if Mr. McTeague may be able to comment on that.
I think it was within 150 feet, Ed.
Okay.
For both.
I don't have that information in front of me, but it was under the 300, maybe 200 on one and 150 on the other.
Okay, thank you.
But it necessarily doesn't have to be, it's not the same type of house that they're speaking of, right? It could be a
Correct.
recovery home.
Yep. Under the zoning ordinance, a recovery home and group home are classified under the same
Right,
use.
okay, so the house that they might be close 300 feet might be a recovery home.
Correct, correct.
And at the absence of no neighbors here, I'm assuming that they have absolutely no problem with, these 2 homes. Because if they did, they would be here, trust me.
Yeah,
They'd be here.
I'm not aware of any issues that have come up with the neighbors.
Anybody else have any questions? Bob?
Nothing
anything
to
to
add.
add?
No?
Anybody? Audience, come on. Okay, so what we're gonna have to do, at the request of our solicitor, is we're gonna do 3, take a vote on 3, and then take a vote on 4. Okay, keep them separate. All right. So on the application number 3, that is for, let's see here, 32 Farmbrook Drive. I need a motion from the board. What is the pleasure of the board?
I want to put a motion for it.
I need a second.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes. Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Gerard Lycon.
Yes. Yes.
On the application number 4, that's 78 Bittersweet Road. What is the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion for this project.
I need a second.
I'll second it.
Call the board.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you. It wouldn't be a presentation if I didn't give you something I shouldn't.
Okay, last but not least, we got Bristol Pike Realty LLC, 2001 Hartle Avenue, Levittown. Please come on up.
You know the date this was posted? 18, okay, so when you get sworn in, and we'll ask you on the record, you'll state 18, whatever date it was, close proximity, thanks.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
So the zoning hearing notice was posted on the building about 2.5 weeks ago. It was the 2 weeks prior and the middle of the week.
What's your name?
Vitaly Samsonov for Bristol Pike Realty.
Please spell it, please.
Vitaly. Last name is Samsonov.
S-A-N-S.
SON as in Nancy, OV as in Victor.
Say that one more time, the last name.
SAMSO, Sam Oscar, and Nancy Oscar Victor, NOV.
Is that right?
One more O after the N. Nancy Oscar Victor. Great. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I really thank you for as a long-term business owner at Bristol Township, I would like to thank you for your service for the township. Last time I was here about 12 years ago. I think some of you might have still been here. Actually, we were here having a hearing for a zoning variance that time for global emergency vehicles, which I started in this township, and the company is still in business, taking the world over with our emergency vehicles. We supply a lot of local communities, Croydon, Bristol Borough, Newtown, just to name a few, with emergency vehicles, and anywhere from Alaska to around the world. The new project, however, doesn't really directly pertain to this business because the variance we got 12 years ago was strictly for the sale of emergency vehicles. And then I had a project in my head. I was thinking about selling commercial trucks that don't directly pertain to emergency vehicles. So for that purpose, we are representing Bristol Pike Realty, which is the owner of the building located at 7201 Bristol Pike, which was acquired recently by the company. And I'm a member of that company. And I mean, formally, if you like, yeah, if we can start the slides. Formally, it's a tavern, ballpark tavern, pretty notorious place. Yeah, has a long history of public nuisance, breaking just about every regulation or law that exists, you know. Our current purpose we're trying to use it for is for the sales and service of commercial trucks. The application was filed, I think it was around August 6th, and it was denied for both, which was a little strange because truck repair shop is permitted by right. Use is permitted by right, which was denied together with the truck sales, which is permitted by special permission, which I'd like to request at this time. If you can give us the next slide, please. So the proposed use is commercial truck sales and repairs, which I just described. We can keep going. We're already, that's the project we're trying to launch is US Truck Center, whether it's going to be in this building or if we get denied, maybe somewhere else. But, you know, obviously we already have it kind of planned out. Next slide, please. So we see a lot of benefits for the neighborhood, you know, because the building is pretty neglected. We'd like to improve both the visual and structural of the building. We're going to create at least 3 to 4 steady jobs, which is a big benefit for the county and the state. Increased economic activity, because we're a reputable company. You know, we know what we're doing with commercial specialty vehicles, and you know, commercial trucks are a lot easier market than that. You know, it's basically the same thing, less the lights and sirens. And, you know, overall public safety improvement, because obviously the previous use wasn't really adding to the safety of the neighborhood. Next slide, please. Yeah, so its facilities is really suitable for that purpose. You know, it's a 2,400 square foot building with 16-foot ceilings. It can house both sales office and 2 repair bays. It's over half an acre lot, which allows for ample customer parking, vehicle storage. Commercial vehicles are usually low traffic volume. You're not going to see congestion of, you know, people gathering up for an event or something like that, you know. And pretty much all the immediate neighbors or anybody in that neighborhood, just about anybody, are commercial tenants and owners. We don't see any, you know, welfare of residents being affected by the new business. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the layout, you know, basically there's plenty of setbacks, plenty of parking. You know, behind us is the Delaware Canal Park. You know, all the other pretty much lots are commercial. Next slide, please. Just the background, you know, again, we've been in the township for over 12 years. We have a nationwide reputation. We do create steady jobs. You know, it's not like, you know, those taverns where people pop in and out with their work, you know, and so we see it as a benefit for everybody. Next slide. Thank you for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Give me your definition of commercial trucks.
Commercial trucks, yeah. Basically, obviously, it could be, in general, it could be pretty wide. The way we're defining it is something that's more like an F-series truck with a commercial body, like a truck body, like a, you know, utility body, maybe a crane or a boom, but nothing ridiculous. You know, we're not planning to sell semi-trucks or, you know, dump trucks, because that lot probably will not be sufficient for it. You know, so if you, I think if you look back, if you can scroll back a little bit, where one of these slides is with the, maybe just a little bit more, kind of in between there, you see it's called a medium duty size truck, which is not humongous, and has a service body on the back there. So that's what we're planning to sell. Nothing, you know, overly oversized.
So a box truck or?
Box truck probably would be the very largest type of vehicle you would sell. Anything down from there. Like not a tandem axle box truck, you know, be tandem axle, meaning that it has two sets of wheels in the back. You know, like a smaller box truck probably. U-Haul size of truck, yeah, probably.
More like a plumber, electrician,
Yeah.
one of those trucks with the toolboxes on the side,
Yeah,
little cover over the back.
We see a market for it. You know, I know some people are selling it in different other areas, and they've been successful. Some friends in Minnesota that do that, so I kind of figured out, hey, I mean, let's try it here in Bristol Township as well, why not?
Okay. So you guys already purchased this property?
Yes. Yeah, it's owned by a group of investors. And some of the investors were trying to put it back in business as a tavern, which I kind of said, look, I mean, it's probably not good. Let's try something.
All right. I think that's, anybody else?
Yeah, I have a question. You're on Hartel Street, is that correct?
That is correct.
All the way down the end, closer to that tire company?
Yeah, yeah.
You have all the rescue vehicles there, all the ambulance and
Yeah, there's two companies.
fire cars or
there-
whatever?
There's two companies there, actually.
Which one's yours?
Mine is, I'm the full owner of Global Emergency Vehicles, which is the Global Emergency Vehicles. Yeah. Yeah.
Also up at the end of, the other end of Hartel, there's a storage lot with a bunch of ambulance in there, right next to Quail gas station or whatever.
Yes,
Is that yours?
that's an overflow lot of ours.
That's an
yeah.
overflow lot.
Yeah, basically, we store some stuff. With
Obviously, it's an eyesore, you know, trucks are all cut up, taken apart. Have a little concern with that.
We will take care of it.
Well, you haven't for 10+ years.
Well, nobody told us. We didn't
well,
see it as a, you
Just
know.
looks a little rough.
Right, no, I understand. You know, even
Just
for-
concerned, you know.
Right.
I hate to see this on Route 13. We're trying to make it
Oh,
beautiful.
no, it's definitely not, you're not gonna see anything like that, because,
And also, that's a small lot. I mean, I have an automotive shop myself, and that's a small lot to, you know, pull trucks in there, turn them around, God forbid, has a trailer on it, if you have to get one towed in. That's a ridiculously small lot, and it's also on a jug handle too. That's a little concerns to me.
Well, I mean, again, the small is a relative definition. Again, if you take not a huge truck, you know, like a 24-foot truck, we already tested it. I mean, there's plenty of room to get in and out there. We're also not planning to take any of these vehicles apart, tow them in, you know, with a trailer or anything like that. That's definitely, you know, not a way to operate there. So.
Well, you did say you're gonna service them, and
Right.
if you service anything like a 250, 350, 450, probably a 550 there, and you gotta tow it, you know, you're gonna need a half-decent tow truck to tow it in, because obviously if you're gonna service them, they're gonna break, or you're gonna
Yes.
buy broken, or you're gonna tow them in.
Right.
For me to get my tow truck in there and try to unload, and not to mention with no cars there, it's tight, it's tight.
Well, it's not going to be a truck with a trailer for sure. You know, it's just
Well,
a
it'd be
tow truck.
a tow truck with a, whether it's a wheel lift or whether it's a rollback, it'll still be tough getting in and out of that
We
small,
already tried
small
it.
lot.
I mean, it's definitely. I mean, would you like to see how we did it? I mean,
Oh, I drive in there all the, not
Yeah.
in there, but I drive on 13 all the time, dropping cars off, and it is
right.
tight.
If you can we just go back to the map real quick? I'll show you basically where we're planning to unload the trucks. If you can see that whole area where, can I just approach the board and show you where basically, yeah. So this.
I'm gonna come out
Okay.
there too.
You need a microphone waiting. Needs a microphone too.
I can't say.
Right. So basically, the entryway, yeah. The entryway is right here. This is where we're looking to have the customer parking and the little office. This is where we're going to have 2 bays going back out this way. And this is where there's plenty of room to park and go around with a pretty decent-sized truck. Not a humongous truck. Again, we're not looking to sell really big semis, you know, or anything like that. But this area, this is a good about 150 feet right here, you know, which is more than enough for a truck to go in, unload here, or somewhere here, for example, bring the truck back over this way, and the tow truck would move out. Yeah, you're right about the jug handle, but in all fairness, I don't think it creates any kind of traffic hazards for anybody, because the entryway is right here, and there's also one right here. So you can actually maneuver in and out of this area. You can go in and out of the jug handle, and then exit back on Route 13 if you need to.
Bob, he don't need a parking variance for like off-street parking or anything for this, if this thing's granted, or?
We don't have a use yet, Jim, so
Okay.
once the use is approved, then we can determine the parking.
Okay, all right. So he may, if we approve this, then he may have to come back for,
And the repair shop, he's saying that's a permitted use by right. Is
yeah, I was
small-
asking, yeah,
Small engine repair, like
right.
appliance guy or
Yeah,
lawn
because I know,
mower
yeah,
repair.
I know he stated that at the beginning, that it's not, he didn't
It
understand
is-
why it was.
Truck repair is not a permitted use in this district.
Okay.
Also, Bob, on truck sales, what's the setback off of the road for truck sales? Do you know that?
Not off the top of my head, but if you give me 5 minutes, I can look it up.
Okay.
All right, so I have a question. So you're saying you're doing sales for these trucks?
Of which trucks specifically? Because I do sales of some trucks, but which trucks are you
Which
referring
trucks
to?
would you be selling?
I will be selling commercial trucks. Right now, we sell,
So the size of the commercial trucks, you're talking about a 550 or a 450?
or smaller, yeah.
Would you have them stored on your lot
A
for
a
sale?
few of them, yeah.
With that, then it limits your ability to move around in the repair shop.
Right,
Like,
because
you
that's
just showed
where,
us all that room, but if you're storing trucks, you don't have all
right,
that.
that's where the trucks would be stored, right here. And this is the rest of the area, which is pretty much most of this lot is for maneuvering in and out.
Big trucks right there on the road, I don't know, it just seems too tight for me.
Well, no, I understand.
So for the use D19, there is no setback, but display areas can't be in the front yard, so they wouldn't be able to be along any frontage of the street.
You can't, what, I'm sorry?
The display area for the vehicle sales can't be in the front yard setback
So any of the front yard, it can't be in there?
for truck repair, or truck sales, I'm sorry. And that covers truck and heavy equipment, repair and sales.
Put it on top of the building.
Or get a variance, but, yep.
So I'm sorry, the trucks you want to sell, you want to put up in that front line right there? Which
Well,
you're saying
yeah,
you can't.
or we can basically put them against the back area, which, I mean, everything qualifies as a front lot, I guess?
The whole front street is the front lot.
Frontage.
Front yard, yeah.
Yep.
So the only place where it can be is behind, I'm
That's-
guessing?
On the rear yard, it's a very unique, lot, so probably behind the building.
Normal lots are on a pie like
Yeah,
that.
to about midway point of that lot, I would say, would be considered that.
Like
frontage.
midway, meaning down here somewhere, or?
Yep.
But
Okay,
if you put it there, then it's in your garage doorway.
right, no, I mean, we can also make the garage doors on this side, technically, and just have the trucks unload, because they can go in from here, unload here, pull them in. Come on. I mean, this is about, again, we're talking about 80 feet over here. The truck is about 25, the tow truck is another 20.
40 feet
Well,
from the
the
building to the
the
property.
tow truck is like 25, and then the bed's about 20 to 25, there's
Right.
50 feet. Then the
Right.
vehicles, to your towing's probably about 25 feet, so by the time you're done, you're 75 feet minimum.
Right.
That's just to get it off, not to even roll it.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, ideally, we need to come in from this side. That would create no issue for anybody. Just come in here, go around, and bring it around the side of the building. But I don't understand the part about the display, because if they're saying it has to be in the back of the building, that, I guess, that's
Not
pretty
in the
much.
front yard. And that's the whole front of the building,
Right.
or the whole front of the real estate is front.
Okay. Well, I understand. I guess that won't work then. And we just have to look for another option. Or look for a variance, I guess. I just don't understand what's the point of not having it in the front, because if you have a dealership, you would want to have your trucks up front. Like, look at Truck Smart. There's a big dealership up in. That's what's in the ordinance. So we're just reading the ordinance. Right. But everything in the ordinance usually makes some common sense behind it, right? Like, something is done in order to. Right. But I just don't understand, like, what's the point of not having on the front lot where you would expect it to be? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, yeah. Like somebody said, might need to go on the roof, which makes zero sense, obviously. So, okay, well, I guess, maybe
Yeah.
we'll have to come back to that.
Yeah, that's the thing, I mean, and then my guess is, I'm not 100% sure, but probably gonna need a parking variance too. It'd be I mean, I would think.
Parking variance for what specifically?
Off-street parking and,
Well, technically, there is parking. This is all already laid out and marked. I'm not sure, do you need another variance if it's already marked, or it was used for parking there, or?
do you have enough parking spots is the
Right, I mean,
question.
if there's 4 employees plus several customers,
Goes by the square footage of the building, correct, Bob?
Yeah, you have a change in use, so you would have to meet the current standards of the parking ordinance.
gotcha. Okay, no, but I mean, the parking, again, could be extended, like, around this side, too. Probably could another 4 spots over here and such. Well, again, that's probably what call for a variance.
Yeah, you would have to submit all that stuff.
Okay,
It's-
well, maybe I should just, come back with a variance next time.
So, okay.
All right.
So what's the plan here? We're gonna,
I don't know, it's just, apply for variance, which I don't even know, like, I don't get the part about no parking, because, I mean, I honestly thought that every regulation should have something behind it. Not allowing trucks to be stored in the front lot makes zero sense. Maybe that's a regulation need to be reviewed.
You might want to find somebody that specializes in telling you what you could fit in on your property and
Right.
what variances you need to get.
Do you know the square footage of the building offhand?
Yes, it's 2,400 square feet.
So you need 12 parking spaces for the building, and then you would need one off-street parking space for each 2,000 square feet of total outside vehicle display area.
Gotcha,
Plus-
okay.
Plus one space for each employee on the largest shift.
So we're talking about,
And that required
That's
parking
12, that's
can't be used for
16.
display.
right, plus, like, so it's basically just employee parking and customer parking, which adds up to about 20, if I'm not mistaken?
It all depends on the display area that you can come up with,
Which you don't have.
but it can't be in the front, so.
Right, I get it, that's fine. Then I guess it'll be a tavern. It'll be a tavern, you know, because if it can't be a dealership, I mean, there's no other, I mean, we have investors there.
So you're gonna withdraw the application, is that?
I mean, for now, yeah, and probably resubmit it with,
Because we're not gonna give you, you know, I don't think makes any sense to give you a continuance on this, because you're far
right,
away from doing something.
yeah, the regulations don't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you, but, you know, it is what it is.
Okay,
I
well, we're
mean-
not here to make sense of them, we're just here to give variances.
Well, who makes sense of them? Who writes them? That's the question.
You're gonna
You know.
you're gonna have to call the township and have a meeting with
Right.
guys in the township.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Yep, all right. Anything else, Keith?
Just so the record's clear, the applicant's withdrawing his application before the board tonight.
Yes.
So I guess I'll need a motion to adjourn.
I guess I'll give you that.
Second, please.
I'll second.
Call the board.
Colleen Dunn,
Yes.
Gerard Lycon,
Yes.
Jim McMahon,
Yes.
Ed Murphy, yes.